Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and we just have a quick one on a brand new REMETTE knife that just dropped. And this thing potentially has the best thumb studs I've ever tried. This is the KESTREL. Now, REMETTE makes some really awesome knives. They're fairly new, but you know, they tend to push the limits, you know, a little bit and try to be very innovative. From what I hear, you know, because, you know, they're obviously doing their own manufacturing and everything, they're able to experiment and do weird things. But we have an S35 VN deep hollow ground blade. Very, very thin geometry, beautiful choil that also acts as a finger choil and sharpening choil. Man, this is very, very thin. Very good slicer for sure. Utility cuts are going to be amazing. Titanium frame lock. It does come in different versions as far as color combinations and inlays. They have Damascus ones. I really like the black one with the Damascus. Oh, that looks sick. But we have a titanium milled pocket clip and a titanium backspacer with a hidden lanyard back there. That's the way I like to see a lanyard. And I actually like to see this, even though I'm never going to use it as a lanyard thing. But my point is that it adds a little character to it rather than just a hole through the side of the blade. That's the way it should be done. So let's talk about these thumb studs, man, because these things are very unique. So if you look at them up close, they have this micro milling texture, not only on this flat portion, but also around the what would be like a regular thumb stud. So it's a combination of basically like I don't even want to call it a disc, but it's like a combination between a thumb stud and like a thumb ramp. I used to say the best one was and I think would compete with it, but from Null Knives. Null Knives had the Voodoo. That thing's thumb studs are just amazing. I'm actually in the process of designing my own thumb stud version. I want to make some thumb studs that I would use on multiple different knives that are just like the best thumb studs, and this one is a good example of what a thumb stud could be. Doesn't matter if it's for the reverse or thumb flick. It's like, because it has this little micro milling on this section right here and on the higher section, it's like kind of like a ramp, but then this little corner right here is not like, I mean, it's sharp if I do that, but like when I'm going like this up to the knife, if you look at this, thing's got this chamfer right there, right? So your thumb like just like goes right to it. So comfortable and just so easy to do. I can't imagine anybody slipping off of this or having misfires constantly or anything. Even for the reverse flick, same thing. It's like these little guys right there trail you right into that stud, right into the grippy portion, and it is nice and grippy. I can't scream about these thumb studs enough. They're very, very satisfying to use. Yeah, they're really good. Access to the lock bar is okay. They didn't cut it back a ton, but they didn't cut it back a ton, but they did cut it back a little bit, and I can easily get to it from the side, get past the detent. You can see it is very, very smooth on the drop. It's not even broken in yet, so you can imagine after it breaks in. Very, very, very smooth, nice detent. Detent is very well tuned for both the flipper and the thumb studs, and the flipper has jimping on it and does kind of curl up a little bit right there, but it's not pokey at all. It's like that perfect amount of curl up where it kind of just gives you like a little ledge to hook onto without it feeling like a hook, like a hinder or something. So yeah, very comfortable flipper tab. It also has a little champ, like if you look how this goes like this and then it kind of arcs that way, that also gives you kind of a place. So when you're pulling back, you're like pulling back in the best place for leverage. So they put that in a well-positioned area. And it's not like such a strong detent that you're like, man, that's a strong detent. No, it's not. It's just like a perfectly tuned detent for both deployments. And like I said, very, very smooth on the drop, perfectly centered. Ergonomics, it's a compact knife. So it's comfortable in the hand, just like this, but it is on the verge of being too small for me. Not too small of a knife, but meaning like too small for me to fit my whole hand onto, which, you know, I don't mind. 3.5 finger knives are great, but this one is a full 4-finger grip and I can always choke up. So it's just right there in that perfect ratio where I can get a full grip. The pinch grips are going to be amazing with this guy just because this sheep's foot hollow ground blade is going to be phenomenal at cutting and just, you know, utilitarian uses and so on. Detent is not late at all. It's nice. And that's one thing I got to say about REMETTE. Typically, REMETTE puts their detent in a great spot, man. And that is important to me. And I think to a lot of other people. Lefties, you're left out of this one. And, you know, you're going to lock yourself out anyways. I would say it's more of a right. I mean, I can do it, but yeah, I'd still say, yeah, it's a right person's knife. So lefties, you're kicked out of this one. But all in all, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with REMETTE overall, you know, and I think, or I know that over time, we're just going to see them improving more and more and more. And I'm hoping to work with them hopefully soon. So we'll see how that goes. Now, let's talk about some negatives really quick. One, negative, T6s. Come on, REMETTE. T8s, no T6s. T6s are banned. We banned them like 5 years ago. The clip, while it does work, and it's not a horrible clip, I wouldn't even call it a bad clip. It does have a little bit of a pop coming, I think, out of the pocket. Not in. In is pretty good. Yeah, in's good, but when it comes out, just have a little tiny pop. It's not much. Some people might even like it. Some people might even prefer it because it's not like it's going to tear your pants up pop. It's like, you know, you just hear it coming out of the pocket, like a little click. Now, this little cutout, I wish it was on the inside. I prefer the lock bar cutouts to be on the inside. This doesn't get in the way, or at least I haven't noticed it, because luckily the clip is way past this corner. But one thing that's cool is if you're gonna have to do this on the outside, it's cool if you can chamfer these edges and like round them so that pants don't hook onto it. This one doesn't do that to me, but I'm just saying, like, you know, as far as designing goes and little tiny details that can make or break a knife. And in this case, it didn't break it, so it doesn't really matter, but I'm bringing it up anyways. You know, ergonomics, you know, it does, like I said, it's thicker here and it slims out right here. So this is very narrow inside that portion, but it's not bad. But I do notice it though. Not that it's a negative thing, it's just I notice it. But as far as the negatives, what else do I got? I don't know. Hopefully the heat treatment's done well. I can't speak to that yet. This is just the first impressions. The edge came out really nice. Access to the lock bar could be a little bit, you can give me a little more, but that's me being, you know, me, I guess. It doesn't need it. It's just, I personally would enjoy it. The inlay work is amazing. But all in all, man, I don't really have many complaints. They could have did some weight relieving maybe in the inside a little bit, but I don't know, because you got the inlays here. So that's technically weight relieving because this material is way lighter than the titanium. Yeah, all in all, I am very much enjoying it. Internal stop pin, ceramic cage bearings, ceramic detent ball, very snappy, good looking knife too. Attractive looking, good color combos, lots of flavors and lots of options. And man, oh man, do I love these Thumbstuds. So let's see, hopefully, well, I don't know if they will, but maybe they'll use these Thumbstuds on other designs, and we might even, you know, see it on, like I said, different designs, different models and stuff, which would be really cool because these do work extremely, extremely well. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.